Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. Extend those arms. Keep them closer to your ears as you turn your hips and waist to peek at the heel of your opposite foot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift your weight, kick your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet. Choose one side, cross and sit on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cross and shift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, practicing our good golden cockerel with good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders. And you know the rest. Growing a little taller. Shift your weight to the left, up, golden cockerel. Not just a hand motion, make sure you engage your core. Kicking out. Shift weight. Center, follow. Last set. Holding your ball in a T stance, root down to store that energy. Out on an L, move that ball, part the wild horse's mane, get a good stretch. Sit back and lower. Pivot, root down, center with a ball, out on an L. Here it is. Sit back, lower, pivot, hold your ball, out on an L. Stretch from your core, not your hands. Sit back and lower, pivot, T stance, L stance, bow stance, flying diagonal. Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist as you brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel higher on a T. All together as you brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot. Where are your spirals as you multitask to brush your knee? Sit back, lower, pivot, hold your ball in a T stance, out and to the side, ward off. Turn your hips and waist as you bring down the bird's tail, look back. Turn, square contact, push in the center, spiral down, spiral forward. Sit back, sit down, pivot, ball and T, out and to the side, ward off. Turn your hips and waist, reposition hands, grasp the bird's tail, look back. Contact, push from the center, separate and roll back, and spiral forward. Sit down, sit back, pivot, hold your ball on the T, out and to the side, part the wild horse's mane. Flip that hand and join it, cloud hands in the 10 form. Pivot, pivot out, flip the hands, join the feet. Only flip. Two things happen. Two things happen. One thing happens to lead us into golden cockerel. Oops. As we now grasp the bird's tail and modify our closing form when we embrace the tiger. Sit back, sit down, pivot, up, pivot, in, pivot, embrace correctly, up, in, push out, drop your shoulders. Gravity takes care of the rest. Flex your knees as we close our form. Okay, yang 24, okay? Commencing form. Open, rotate, deep breath. Reverse, relax, make yourself small, hold your ball in the T stance, part the wild horse's mane. Half step forward. Spin the ball as if you're brushing that right hand, lift up. Set, white crane spreads its wings. Drop your front foot as you bisect in the area of your dantian. Swirl back, look back at your right hand, lift up the front foot, brush knee. Half step forward. Sit back, rock the front. Play your lute. Pulsing of the monkey. Modify that foot. Grasp the bird's tail. Leading into single whip. Cloud hands. Single whip. Half step. High pad on the horse. Step out to the left. Kick out with your right. As you double punch. Spin, left hand, left foot up, and out. In, hook, serpent in the grass. Golden cockerel. Spin, Up, golden cockerel. Extend a knee, hold your ball, maiden on her right. Sit back. Maiden on her left. Half step to the back. Cross your hips and waist, set up the top hand, needle to the bottom of the C. Flash arms like a fan. Sit back, lower, pivot, up, down. Kick out with your heel to deflect. Bring it in as you parry and punch. Touch. Roll back. Spiral forward. Sit back, pivot. Open pivot. In pivot. Embrace the tiger. Bring him up. Push it in. Now push out. Separate. Drop your shoulders. Flex your knees as gravity takes care of the rest as you close your form. Okay, round 2. Getting a little better, smoothing it out, a little bit more detail. Commencing form. Rotate, deep breath. Reverse, make yourself small, flex your knees. Hold your ball in a T stance. Out on an L, get a good stretch, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, lower, pivot out, ball for better balance, move that ball on an L, bow stance. Sit back, lower, pivot out on an L, move that ball, final parting of the wild horse's mane. Listen, half step forward, spin the ball as if you're brushing the right hand, lift up the left foot, place it down on its toes, set as white crane spreads its wings. Drop your front foot, bisect to your dantian, swirl back your left hand to above your shoulder, lift up the front foot, brush your knee. Right hand close to the shoulder, all together, ear, hand, heel, brush knee 2. Sit back, lower, out, right hand higher, ear, heel, hand, turn hips and waist, final brush knee. Half step forward, sit back, rock the front foot, put it on its heel as you play your lute. Center, turn, glance at the right hand, higher, lift, ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, repulse of the monkey. Center, higher, glance, lift up, ear, heel, hand, meet in the center, repulse 2. Center, higher, glance, lift up. Final, modify that foot so that you'll be ready for grasping of the bird's tail. On an L, move that ball, push your opponent away. Turn your hips and waist, reposition your hands as you sit down, sit back, look back, contact, push from the center, separate and roll back. Make yourself small as you unflex your knees and power forward. Sit back, lower, pivot, right hand on the bottom, right foot ready to go, out on an L, ward off. Turn your hips and waist, pull down, pull back, look back, contact, center push, roll back, make yourself small as you then spiral forward. Sit back, lower, pivot, 9 o'clock, flip the hands, middle, hook on a T, out on an L for a single whip. Sit back, lower, pivot, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, cloud hands. 9 o'clock, 2 things happen. stem and cup. 3 o'clock, 2 things happen. 9 o'clock, 2 things happen. 12 o'clock, stem cup, T hook out, second single whip. Half step, sit back, pat your horse. Step out with your left heel to your left. Gather energy up and out. In, gently on your heel. Look through 6 inches between your 2 fists. Sit back, lower, pivot. Left hand, left foot ready to go. Kick out, in, serpent, split, down, extend, up, golden cockerel. Toe, spin, hook, split. Suspend, up, extend the knee, L stance, ball, L stance, spin, above the head, turn the hips and waist, shuttles on her right. Sit back, lower, pivot out, hold your ball, L stance, spin, turn hips and waist, shuttles left. Half step to the back, cross your hips and waist, set up the top hand, needle to the bottom of the C. One hand comes up, join it by the second hand, then your foot. Start in the middle, touch, flash arms like a fan. Sit back, pivot, up, down, kick out heel as you deflect, bring it in as you then parry, then punch. Touch, open the fingers, roll back, spiral up and forward. Sit back, sit down, pivot, open pivot, in pivot, embrace the tiger, palms are showing outward as you come up. Slightly bring it in, push out with the force of your core, drop your shoulders, flex your knees, hands go for the ride as you close your form. Okay, ready for round 3, this time only the titles of the movement, okay? Be confident that you can do it well, do it smoothly. Commencing form. All I ask is you do it in unison. Try to remember what has been taught, not your same old way. Part the wild horse's mane. White crane. Set. Brush knee 1. Half step. Play your lute. Pulse of the monkey. Modify. Grasp the bird's tail. Leading into single whip. Here it is. Cloud hands. Second final single whip. High pad on the horse. Kick out right. Double punch. Kick out. Left. Serpent in the grass. Golden cockerel. Take your time. Serpent. Golden cockerel. Maiden works her shuttle on the right. And on her left. Needle to the bottom of the sea. Flash arms like a fan. Deflect as you parry and punch. Apparently close. Embrace the tiger or cross hands. Closing form. One more round. This time, no words. Okay, but try to keep in uniform, unison. Remember, it's not the same old way, but the improved way. Begin. Take it slowly. half step, needle. Deep right. How can you account for that? So Mary, if you couldn't hear, says that within the last couple of sessions or few sessions, she feels that she has more stamina. So I'm asking her, does she think accounts for how well your stamina has increased? So yes, what little time or effort you give to Tai Chi, it does grow on you, but beyond that, it does firm up muscles and conditions you for stamina, and that's what we're looking for. And if you look at the clock, we've done about 35 minutes, including warm-up. Good, and I think that's an excellent answer. Your breathing kicks in. That helps you with your continuity, your flow, but your stamina. And we never should forget that breathing is an integral part in doing Tai Chi. And we've always said it's natural, and it is natural, but you are then aware of the natural breathing. Thank you. So yes, what you explained applied to everybody in this class. And me as a teacher, because I could see what was ahead of me and could not see what was behind me. But the people in the back of me were more apt to see me and be in good timing than the people ahead of me. So it works two ways. So in any kind of a dance or big situation, a teaching position, situation, you're going to have some disadvantages and advantages. But what is it telling you about yourself? We need to move away from that. We cannot change that condition, whether it be hula, Zumba, whatever you have, yoga, maybe not so much yoga. But what is it telling us? So Nani is saying, when we did repetitive sets, the same old places where I needed help, I could not see and did not have something to follow. Is that correct? So what is it saying to you? Do you sit with that dilemma, or do you do something about it? What can you do? What can you do? You need to internalize the instructions and be confident that if you do not have a model or someone out there to watch, you believe in yourself and build that confidence over time. So I would use that as a very constructive suggestion, and no denying it was real that those were predicaments. Okay, good. Something else. Okay, and I think it's real for everybody, but perhaps you couldn't, you didn't want to vocalize it. But in doing repetitive sets, and the way I try to wean you from oral instructions gives you a time to be more in a meditation state. And when you're meditating, your mind sometimes drifts off because you are so relaxed. But in a true sense of meditation, the concentration has to be focused. So when you find yourself drifting off and perhaps doing a movement that's not supposed to be there, your mind is active. It draws you back to the focus. So that's another big characteristic of why we meditate. We train ourselves to pull back to our focus area rather than drift off. But in meditation, there is a lot of relaxation. So good, okay? Some good, some drawbacks, but the drawbacks you build on and turn them into pluses. Okay, good. Tai Chi, especially done on a repetitive period of time, does bring peacefulness and relaxation and tranquility. But it also is a mindful art or discipline in that it makes you aware of what's around you. What's around you being in a general way. You not only know that there's cameras on us, there's a teacher, there are colleagues next to you, but you also hear the sounds. And that comes with the territory. I think as we get deeper into a meditative mode, we then subdue or subordinate those extraneous environmental sounds and visual cues, and we prioritize what we're doing. So I think definitely we are on a journey and we need to kind of block out, but yet know what's, and be aware of what's around in visual and audio. Okay, good one. Okay, and that's part of our journey. We're getting deeper into it. And yes, maybe you need the cues to look, but I'm saying, yeah, you know what? You can fudge it a little bit. I fudge it a lot, you know? But I know where I fudged it, and I go back to it, and I say, okay, I look in the mirror, and I start, you know, pounding it out and making sure I get it a little bit cleaner, a little bit cleaner. So I am on my journey too, okay? Good. Okay, so Mel's saying that he finds that when he does Tai Chi, he has a definite carryover in how he walks outside of Tai Chi class. And Ken's saying that's the payoff, and that's why we're here. So a big, big benefit is to discipline yourself, and the posture in everything you do is so important. Okay, and we can write a whole chapter on that, and I can write it for you, for only just personal experiences and drawbacks in posture. Okay, very good. So I like what I hear. I know that others have other things that they have arrived at or felt that it's how it's helped them in this long duration. And I appreciate everything that you've said and everything that you're thinking. And I think we're on that same boat, okay? We're on that same journey. Has trouble with the feet work in serpent. Okay, I'll do it for you without any instructions, okay? Hook, oh, no instructions. Okay, so what did I answer your question by demonstrating? Yeah, but then it's still hard because you want the verbal, you want to hear. So maybe it's a good time to review. You know that in serpent, the planted heel is where, the back of the planted heel is where you want your toe. You want parallel feet. You want to eventually come down by sitting down on this back or rooted foot. As you turn, you want to be able to pivot first to the left in a bow stance, and then you want to be able to come up as a golden cockerel. You want to be able to plant your toe so that when you rotate, it'll be in line with that heel. You want to split with parallel feet. You want to weight down on the back leg. You want the serpent to slither and then advance to a bow stance. You want that spring to shift your weight to come up and be a golden cockerel. Okay? So now the hands. Well, let's see. Okay? So play that one over and over again, and then try it out, and then see if you can hear my voice from all the drilling that we've done. And if you can't, what do? You put in all your keywords, okay? Maybe that'll help. Okay, good question. Hard, very difficult and hard movement that requires a lot of going over and going over, conditioning, muscle strength, understanding, okay? So you're new learners, you're gonna open up your mind and see what I suggest that you can apply. Something as basic as golden cockerel. Something as basic as golden cockerel, okay? Golden cockerel, golden cockerel. I'm talking about this hand that doesn't come in the center. The hand that sits to the side just doesn't swipe to the side. It rounds up and it pushes down. And I'm talking about hands, but I'm really talking about core. So it's in unison. And what I find is that the hand that sits to the side starts that spiral higher than it's able to come down. If I do not set that hand high and then come down, this is what predicament I will have. There's nothing to push down. Why do I want this? This is the stuff that gives me balance. If my hand is too far down, I'm going to throw my Tai Chi posture off and getting that hand down. So if you can watch, because you're going to be doing it, no matter what hand it is, start to spiral on a higher, not super high right here. Drop, spiral down. Center. Last one.
Essentials of Tai Chi as put forth by Yang Cheng Fu and also referred to by other masters is the sense of continuity, which in my mind means moving smoothly. In learning sequence, part of the thing about doing it is, hey, if I start off the right way and I end up the right way, I might be okay. When you're doing this, sometimes you think, I know what the next is coming, so I'll beat them to it and I'll stay here. But here you're standing and you're waiting for somebody. You know what's the next thing in your mind, sequencing. So you say, okay, I'll get to this position, rather than saying, you know, how I need to do it is very slowly because I have to keep going. I can't stop here and wait for the group to show up or the teacher to say something, or you should not. You should try to aim towards saying, okay, I know we're going to do the crane, okay? So you come from here and you come here and you're here and you stop for a moment, but you know that the next movement is down, coming down. So what I would hope for you is to say, to be more smooth in your continuity. You know in your mind, and your mind is directing your Tai Chi, that you're going to be up here. But try to not make it so mechanical, where you say, yeah, did that, now what's the next? And you come here, and you do that, and then you wait. You're constantly moving, constantly moving. In your mind, because your mind is directing your body, you are moving. See? I'm always moving. come back here. I don't flip here because I know I have to be here. But you see, I'm moving all the time. And that ties into another aspect of continuity. One of the hallmarks of Yang style Tai Chi, which is what we're teaching, is that the rhythm and pace is even throughout. Whereas there are other forms of Tai Chi where you deliberately change your rate of delivery. Where in some people, we do a nice leisurely punch, whereas other ones may give you a rather quick punch, and then they go back to something of a different rhythm, and then they come back and forth, okay? So that serenity and continuity, maybe I guess serenity is the thing to think about. Pace in Yang Tai Chi is all the same throughout, doesn't change. And when you're trying to do continuity, or another hint to try to help yourself with continuity in terms of keeping yourself moving is think about Yang Tai Chi, or all of Tai Chi in general, is circular. Try to stay moving without succumbing to mechanical. You can spend a lot of time getting yourself coordinated by circles versus you say, whoop, I'm here. Say when you're trying to do any movement, use where you should be looking as a means of helping you with your Tai Chi. I think it helps in terms of the physical aspects because you are performing a martial art and you should be using hand-eye coordination, but sometimes when you're using eye contact as to what you're doing, it makes you focus at yet one more aspect. Besides doing the physical movement, you are using your level of concentration, and that from a standpoint of meditation, if you will, it makes you focus. Otherwise, you're just doing one of these things. And whereas you do this, you have to do not only the movement, because you're now focusing with your eye where you're kicking, but you're also going through the movement. Makes things a little bit more complex, but it may help you have better Tai Chi. And another thing, just a small point on golden cockerel, and I agree with Lucille in terms of this hand comes across and down. The only thing I add to that is this helps you do another subtle thing. Instead of saying, we're not mechanical, we are circular, we're rotating, very subtle rotation. Come down, straight on, rotate. And what did I say about rotation? Rotation is a way of keeping your balance, yeah? You like Mal says, the dantian helps him. Dantian not only helps you in terms of sitting here, the dantian helps you because you rotate on that axis. You use the dantian from here, here, here. It's a straight up axis. So you try to keep it.